Hey, yo, what it do? Do y'all notice anything different about me? Yeah, let me turn to the side a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Yo, guess what? I'm losing weight. Do you hear what I'm saying? Listen, so this is a very, very exciting time for me because my mindset has changed. Not necessarily around like weight loss, but it has really been it has taken some time, to really not just lose weight, right? But actually build a foundation. So y'all don't know this about me, but one of the things that I have always prayed for was, Lord, I want to live a more healthier and stable lifestyle, right? And so I've always had a goal for me, my family, my wife, I want us to be not like, oh, we're a fitness family, but more so like a healthy and stable lifestyle family. Like I want this to be a life change, you know what I'm saying? And so I never wanted to lose, 50 pounds just to say I lost 50 pounds. No, I want to like lose the weight and be able to actually maintain keeping it off, And so it's really been important to me to like, I had to like literally start from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times what we don't recognize is a lot of our eating habits, they stem from childhood. You know what I'm saying? And for me, my childhood experience with food, I actually, let me pause that real quick. I actually had a friend a few years ago. She had asked me a really dope question, and nobody had ever asked me this before. She was like, Nay, what is your relationship like with food? And I just thought that that was such an interesting question because I was like, my relationship with food. I mean, I eat, like that's the relationship. Like outside of that, I never thought about it from like the perspective of you having a relationship with food. You know what I'm saying? Like I never heard anybody say that before. And so literally when she asked me that question, that really started the process for me of figuring out how am I going to establish and maintain a more healthier and stable lifestyle. And so I really had to kind of like go back to my childhood and see what does my relationship with food look like? Why am I stuck on, like hot dogs and french fries, fish sticks and french fries, smoked sausages and rice and eggs for breakfast, cereal for breakfast, pancakes for breakfast with syrup and orange juice. And it's like you don't even realize that a lot of these things aren't necessarily good for you, especially to have for breakfast, right? Nobody is having these conversations, you know what I'm saying? Like during that time, we eating, you know what I mean? Like we eating, we eating. And so I remember during my childhood, I used to couldn't get up from the table until all my food was finished on my plate. And so, you know, I kind of come from the era of we're not wasting no food. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna eat whatever's on your plate, and that's just what it's gonna be. And so I kept living like that until it really took me to get out of that mindset when I got in my early 30s. And so literally I had to learn how to push back the plate. I had to start telling myself it's okay not to eat everything on your plate. It's okay to, instead of ordering a large this or a large that, start with a small. Start with a medium. Like, even, I mean, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, now that I've been losing weight and I'm able to like see the difference, like I'm able to look at, old videos and podcasts and, pictures and just so many different things where I'm like, wow, I remember the way I used to eat. And literally, I'm talking about, I used to there's this spot called Beaver's in Lawrenceville. Shout out to Beaver's, y'all. Man, it's like an Italian spot. I mean, I would get this tray of like pasta, broccoli, grilled chicken, and it'll be mixed in like this oil. And man, I used to eat a whole container of that junk, and I'm talking about like the little round container. And it came with like some garlic knots. Y'all used to bust that thing down by myself in one setting. Y'all, I used to go to Chipotle and I would get a burrito instead of like a bowl. Man, that burrito would be loaded up, bro. I used to eat that entire burrito in one day. Like, I used to eat a 15 piece from Wingstop. Like, I can literally tell you, and that we're not just talking about the 15 piece. Don't forget the fries and definitely do not forget the ranch. Absolutely. And so, man, it's just like, as I was looking at my pictures and stuff, and I was just like, wow, like, I really used to eat like this. And I wasn't like blaming myself or anybody or anything like that, but it just really got me to thinking about the people around me, because I've always had health goals for myself. I've always had weight goals for myself, but, you know, it was me who had to activate it, right? But, or at least that's what I thought. I actually had a friend that got me to go to the gym. Like, she got me a trainer. And so we were bartering services, and so she paid for me to have a trainer. And that was the first time somebody had like cared enough to be like, yo, I'm finna help you with this. Because that's the thing about like turning this into a lifestyle change, not just you losing weight. You need help with this stuff. You don't know what you don't know, and luckily for her, and well, luckily for me, she was a nutritionist. So she was able to, we would have conversations and she was able to tell me, you know, about like what I can do and what substitutions I can make that, will begin the process. And so it really took me some time, y'all, to do this because keep in mind, my eating habits hadn't changed since I was a kid. Like I had to break that mental chain that was on my mind of we not wasting no food. You're not gonna get in trouble if you throw your food away or if you want to save it for later, whatever the case might be. Like there's nobody holding you back. You know what I mean? And so it's almost like I had to learn and give myself permission to push back. And so, it's just, it's interesting, right? Because you don't even recognize how much this stuff affects you, right? You just really moving through life and you kind of see other people, being gym rats or being very disciplined. And it's like, man, how do they do that? How do they, how are you so disciplined? How are you so, no matter what you eat, you're going to work it off? Like, where does that come from? Where does that mentality come from? And, I understand for me, it is something that has had to be built over time because, like I said, now that I'm losing weight, I don't have a desire to overeat anymore. Like I had let go of the desire before I started losing weight, but I really had decided who I wanted to be. You know what I mean? Like when I talk about wanting to live a more healthier and stable lifestyle, that also means in all areas of my life, you know? Like I just think about a lot of the things that I used to like do. I used to drink these little cocktail cans that I would get from Quick Trip. I used to have like two of those a night. And so I started kind of getting like this beer belly pudge on top of my already stomach. And so, and it was just showing up in other areas like my face and, my thighs and stuff like that. And so, it just seems like when I made the decision to be who I want to like be, and so I stopped drinking like the little cocktail cans. I actually don't even drink as much as I used to. Like I really can't even tell y'all the last time I had a actual like drink. But I also, what I'm saying, I just stopped like doing eating a lot of foods that had like sugar and processed foods and even eating out all the time. I used to eat out all the time, y'all. I'm talking about, because you know what? I got burnt out of cooking. Like, I've been cooking since I was like 16 or 17. And so, literally, I'm typically always the one that's like cooking for family functions and barbecues and stuff like that. So, cooking has always been my thing. Fun fact, y'all don't know this, but I actually used to want to be a chef. Yeah, before I ever picked up a video camera, before I ever took a video class, I wanted to be a chef. And so that didn't happen. But yeah, like my love for food and my love for cooking never went away until I started becoming unsatisfied with life. I started feeling burnt out in a lot of different areas of life. And it's like I kept searching for satisfaction. My relationships couldn't satisfy me. The only thing that was really like satisfying me to a degree was me chasing my dreams. You know what I'm saying? Me actually doing the things that I love to do. And another thing that satisfied me sometimes was food, like eating out and stuff. Because it's like, wow, I know I can't really prepare this at home the way I want to. So at least let me go to my favorite restaurant and I know they're going to do it right every time. But if I could be honest with y'all, the food started getting nasty. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like over the last few years, the service been different, the food been different, just the entire experience has been different. So I don't even be having the desire sometimes, most of the time, to like go out to eat anymore because it's not the same. And so literally like my appetite for things start changing. And I'm like, yo, shout out to God for doing that because man, like I was telling y'all earlier, just a lot of the way I used to eat, I don't even desire to do that no more. Like I can easily share a 15 piece. I can easily share a 10 piece and I'll be straight. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, wow, like I'm actually getting up and I'm being mindful about the decisions that I am making when it comes to what am I putting in my body? How am I getting my movements in? And that's another thing that I've been doing for working out. Like I've been walking, I wear my weighted vest, around the house or different things that I'm doing. But I also started back moving around, like singing and dancing. For a minute, I had lost my joy, y'all. Like I'm not even gonna hold you. And it was due to a lot of different things in my life. And I'm gonna actually tell y'all something that I haven't told anybody. But there will be times where I would just sit and watch workout videos on like TikTok, Instagram. Like I have a fitness folder saved on my TikTok. I mean on my Instagram. And so it's like it's like I be having the desire, but actually making it happen is where the disconnect is, or where it was. And so this process has really, you know, it's been, it hasn't been hard. It's just taken a lot of mindfulness. Like I actually had to sit with myself and really think about, do you want to keep looking like this and feeling like this? And you can't be honest with nobody. Now you can be honest, but I'm saying like only you truly know how you really feel about yourself. Only you really know how you feel about yourself when you look in the mirror. How do you feel when you don't have any clothes on? How do you feel, you know, when it's just literally you in the mirror, right? And so my biggest struggle used to be like, okay, I struggle with doing this on my own, so I need other people to do it with me. And so I would always try to get like, the person that I'm dating to pretty much go in with me. And so I would get frustrated when they wouldn't uphold whatever we trying to do, or you know what I'm saying, like I'm trying to do. And so it's like I would allow them to distract me because I am still struggling with, being all in as well. And so it's almost like I was putting the weight on them to be like my coach, be the person that's pushing me. And I had to remember I can't expect somebody to do something for me that they're not doing for themselves. And so I really had to deal with myself in that way where it's just like, hey, your goals aren't their goals. And so I also started understanding, though, I don't think that that's my partner, because I started thinking about all of these things where when I think about the idea of a better half, everybody want a better half until it's time for the better half to actually show up and be the better half. The better half to me is basically the person who is, when you falling short, they're going to pick you up. When you, let's say you want to execute on some goals, they're going to be the one that's helping you along the way. Let it, basically, not necessarily policing you, but basically just like, hey, remember, we not doing that because you said you wanted to do XYZ. Because that's who I am to not just like my family, my friends, but that's also who I am to my partner, my person. That's why I always say a to-do list hate to see me coming. Don't ever tell me your goals and your dreams, because I am going to help you execute. I'm going to help you get to where you say you want to go and do the things that you say you want to do. And for a long time, it felt like I would be that for everybody else, but I never could flip that switch on for me. And so I was just like, you know what? Let me put this same energy that I'm always willing to put into other people. Let me actually put it in myself. Let me invest in myself and, go from that angle. Because I feel like it can't continue to be a situation where I'm constantly trying to help get somebody else to go off and do the things that they want to do and achieve the things that they want to achieve, and I still got this goal of having a healthier and established a more healthier and stable lifestyle. And this been on my goal list for like the last 6 or 7 years. And so there's been this thing over the years: stop and start, stop and start, stop and start. And so, and also, don't let me start seeing results, because it's like as soon as I start hearing the compliments and I start kind of seeing a little bit of results, I'll go back to, okay, boom, well, we need to reward ourselves. And it's like, yo, you have to find a better reward system than food, because now, and it's about moderation. And that was the part that I had to learn too. Like, know if you do this one time, it's not gonna make you gain all your weight back. But if you talking about you just gonna keep doing it and you never go back to the routine that you was doing, then of course you're gonna gain your weight back, you know? So I really just been, spending time with myself. I had told myself that I'm not, getting into like another relationship until I actually start working on this goal and actually like I'm doing it. Like I'm live and direct with it because I'm like, nobody will ever be able to come in and push me more than I'll be able to push myself. It's me who say I want this type of lifestyle. So I got to be the one to take the initiative. I got to be the one to be able to push back from the table. I got to be the one to show others that, hey, I am serious about this. Even though you might not be as serious, that don't mean I'm not as serious. Like I had to really, I'm showing myself, and I'm really making sure that I'm getting my movement in every day. And I also been trying to make sure that I'm like closing my rings and stuff on my Apple Watch. Let me see. There you go. Yeah, you feel me? So yeah, man, I'm trying, and I'm actually doing a lot more than trying. Like I'm live and direct with it. And so I'm really looking forward. And I told y'all in the beginning of the year, I told y'all on a podcast, on a video, I said this weight coming off this year. You hear me? I wasn't playing, y'all. I really been diligent about this process and I really want to see not just results, but I want to have a better relationship with myself. I want to really be able to do the things that I said I'm going to do and be able to trust myself to not only just, execute for others and get, the books done and the this done, all the other stuff that I can execute on all day long, but it's like, yo, this is that one thing. And I actually had asked God. I said, Lord, is there anything that you told me to do that I'm not doing? I kept coming back to this. And I tried to like get away from it, but I had to start really realizing like, hey, you really need to go ahead and tackle this because the life that you say you want to have where you're all around the world dropping gems, you speaking on different stages, you going to places doing this, doing that, you're going to need the stamina to be able to handle that. And so it's like, what better way to really start right now while you have the time, the energy, the capability? Because, like, we not getting any younger. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me go and start now. And I feel really good these days. Oh, speaking of feeling really good, let me tell y'all something. I've been switching up what I've been eating, right? And so, especially for breakfast, like, I literally been having like one egg and some egg whites, turkey bacon. I might do some fruit. I might do a protein smoothie, like just all of these different things, right? And what I've started realizing is because I used to feel sluggish after I would eat. Y'all know how we get like, "Ooh, I got the itis." Y'all, I haven't been experiencing that. Like, I haven't been experiencing the itis. I haven't been like feeling like, oh my goodness, I have overeaten. Like, I really been diligent about this process. And I'm just looking forward to continuing it. Like, I can't tell y'all like how good it feels to be able to just be active throughout the entire day. Like, and not like be active and like, I'm working out all day, but it's like I don't feel the need to like, okay, I'm feeling sluggish, I need a break. Like, no, if I am getting a break, it's because I've actually been checking off the things on my to-do list and it's time for me to get my singing and dancing in for my midday movement or go for my midday walk, whatever. Like, just things that really make your body feel good, but also make you feel good mentally and emotionally. And so I'm really starting to see in all areas of my life, like I just got my joy back, and even in the midst of me waiting on God to continue to, do some things and really show me how good it can get. I'm just like, man, it feels good to be doing this type of work on self, because I'm like, my confidence has already been, through the roof, but it's just like you can feel it building even more because I'm looking in the mirror and I can see I'm doing like these side by side pictures and videos. I'm not going to show y'all like the whole process yet, but I'm just like, I'm the one I'm documenting the process. And so I'm just like, man, like this just feels really good to do. So I encourage you to, if you've been wanting to really get a hold of your weight loss journey and just, live a more healthier and stable lifestyle, drink more water, man. Really start looking and figuring out. That's another thing I've been doing. I've been drinking a lot more water. Like I haven't had soda. I laid off the chips, like the junk food and stuff. Like I really just been super intentional, and that's what you gotta do. You gotta get intentional about you. Can't nobody do it for you. People can speak life into you all day long, but there has to be something that clicks within inside of you that's like, you know what? I'm tired of talking about this. I'm tired of living like this. We about to run it up right now. Like we're starting today. And if you keep just focusing on today and not another thing that I haven't done, I don't get on the scale every day. Cause it's not about, all right, well, how much weight have I lost? Not yet. I want to be committed for the next 3 to 4 months. And then, as I continue to see the progress before the scale can ever tell me anything. Like I want to keep doing the work and I want to keep seeing the results even when I just look in the mirror. Like I could look at my face right now and I see that it's way more defined. It's slimmer. It's this, that. Like I could take my shirt off and I can see my stomach don't hang over my pants as much anymore, or this or that. And it's just like, wow, look at what a little dedication can do. I haven't even been on this journey for 6 months and I'm already seeing results. So imagine what it's going to look like if you continue to be intentional about what you say you want. You know what I mean? So, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in as always, man. I'm always grateful to get on here and just tell y'all my stories, man. God placed these stories in my heart and on my mind. And so I'm just like, yo, I'm just trying to like give them to y'all as they come, because it's like you never know who need to hear your story that's going to help them go full throttle in their story. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I'm going to keep sharing what I got, and hopefully y'all keep tuning in and y'all keep getting fed and y'all keep running it up. Keep sending me the updates. Keep sending me the feedback. If you start your weight loss journey, shoot, tap in with me. You know what I mean? You're not alone. We running it up. And it's our year. You know what I mean? This our season. Yes, sir. Let's go. Come on. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year.